All this week, we're following the big JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, highlighting one of the hottest sectors around in our series, Biotech, the Next Generation. And here's why. As a group, biotechs have trounced the S&P for the last 4 years. 4 years straight. Tonight, I want to take a look at the small-cap biotech company with a stock that's nearly doubled over the last month. You're not early. I'm talking about Halozyme, and that's H-A-L-O. Halo. For all you home gamers, it's a biotech focused on using human enzymes to alter what's known as the extracellular matrix, an area outside your body's cells that, among other things, provides structural support for your body's various tissues. Halozyme has used this technology to create a subcutaneous drug delivery platform. You know how much we like those. For everything from fluids to small molecule therapies to monoclonal antibodies. The company's partnered up with a number of big pharma players eager to get their hands on this platform, most recently with J&J's Janssen unit. In a deal announced nearly a month ago that could potentially be worth more than $580 million for a small-cap company. Meanwhile, Halozyme and its partner Baxter recently got FDA approval for Hykiva. That's a subcutaneous treatment for people with primary immunodeficiency. Halozyme has its own proprietary products, too, including Hylenex recombinant, which is currently approved as a drug delivery adjuvant that allows for faster subcutaneous administration of therapies that are typically given intravenously. Currently, it's also being studied as a way to deliver insulin to people with diabetes 1. Plus, the company is developing an intriguing pancreatic cancer treatment that's currently in phase 2. Can this stock keep climbing, and can all these programs reach fruition? Let's take a closer look with Dr. Helen Torley, the president and CEO of Halozyme Therapeutics. Learn more about our company and where it's headed. Dr. Torley, welcome to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim. Pleasure to be here.
All right, Doctor, you have an incredible pedigree. You were at Onyx, Amgen. When I see what you're saying about the pancreatic cancer drug that's in phase 2, I almost feel like, given your background, this has real promise.
Jim, it's a key reason I joined Halozyme was because of the potential I saw for PEG-PH20. It attacks a sugar that accumulates around some cancers and prevents cancer therapies getting access. With our PEG-PH20, we can reduce the amount of that sugar and increase the delivery of the cancer therapies. Now, that's all in animal models, but we're being able to now take the product into the clinic and beginning to generate exciting clinical data, too, in a very hard-to-treat cancer, pancreatic cancer.
Well, I want to ask you about that, because one of the things I saw from Kripolis, from Onyx, is that, I mean, if you have a fatal disease, which pancreatic was a death sentence earlier in my life, I knew it was a death sentence, how do you recruit people into a study?
You know, it's really the physicians out in the community. They're always looking to advance the care. And when they talk to patients with a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, sadly, most patients are already pretty advanced. These experimental drugs give them hope. We know today with the currently available therapies, the average time people will survive is 6 to 8 months, and only 1 in 20 will be alive at the end of 5 years. So there's great interest in investigating and finding new ways to advance the care in pancreatic cancer. It's absolutely one of the hardest to treat today.
Okay, you also have this drug delivery platform, Janssen, that Janssen did a deal with. I mean, this alone seems like a representative of a reason why that you should own Halozyme Therapeutics. Were you also intrigued by that? Because this is a very big deal that you announced. I know that you must have negotiated with J&J.
Yes, we just signed the deal with Janssen, as you say, milestones of up to $566 million. And that adds to partnerships we already have with companies like Roche, Pfizer, and Baxter. And it's really just the beginning. With these partnerships, we get milestones, we get royalties, and we're able to help patients by taking drugs that they previously had to have inside their veins in a hospital. They can now get them at home or in a clinic over a much shorter period of time. So yes, I'm very excited about the enhanced platform as well.
I want to talk about that, because one of the things that we have learned, and I know from Merck's buyer of Cubist, is unfortunately a hospital is a place where a lot of people go who die who shouldn't die. Does this get them out of a hospital faster? Because it's exactly what you described that is causing a lot of the superbugs to be able to be contracted.
I certainly think there's a potential. I'll give the example of Baxter's HyQvia, which was just approved, as you mentioned, last year, and that combines our technology with the immune globulin used in patients with primary immune deficiency. Instead of having to go to the hospital for an infusion every month or injecting themselves 12 to 20 times, patients can now at home, most of them, get their entire month's therapy in one setting. In one sitting, so once a month injection. So that does keep that patient out of the hospital.
Okay, Dr. Torley, one last question. I know that Onyx wanted to be independent, and it was just frankly too attractive. And I know that Amgen, a lot of people thought they paid too much. They didn't. How much of your day is just to be able to say to these companies that want to do partnerships, listen, I just want to partner so we can get the royalties to be able to develop our own drugs? And how much of it is just, oh, geez, just when we're about on the cusp, someone just wants to buy the whole company?
It's really the former, Jim. Our model is that we are using our partnerships with ENHANZE, the royalties and milestones we get from that to fund our exciting proprietary pipeline. PEGPH20, we believe, has got potential in pancreatic cancer, and we're hoping to go and talk to the Food and Drug Administration actually later this quarter about moving forward with a registration trial in pancreatic cancer. But we're also starting studies in non-small cell lung cancer. There are a number of tumors where patients have the sugar that can be creating problems, and we really want to test our drug in as many of these cancers as possible and see if we can help patients with that.
Well, Dr. Torley, you've got a very exciting company. I really appreciate you coming from that JP Morgan conference and being on our show. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you too. Thanks for the invitation.
Okay,
thanks, Jim.
That's Dr. Helen Torley, President and CEO of Halozyme Therapeutics. Guys, it has doubled, but boy, is it ever exciting. Stay with Cramer.